I need to clear some shelf space, and what better way than to give you a list of books that I've pulled off of my bookshelf that have either been there for a very long time or something, and I need to get rid of them or unhaul them. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, of course, you already know, I pulled quite a few books off of my bookshelf that have either been there for a long time or that maybe I feel like I wouldn't enjoy anymore because of the concept of what they are. And all of these books, if I do not read them in 2024, I'm just unhauling them. I'm not even going to look back. I feel like this is the time to get that done. So before we get into the video, make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure that you check my description box below for my Goodreads, my Instagram, my Pango Books account, and my Patreon links, all in the description. So let's get into all of the books that I have here that I am going to put on their own separate shelf. And if I do not gravitate towards them, if I do not pick them up to read in 2024, I'm just unhauling them. I'm not even going to look back. I'm going to clear up some shelf space. Here's what's funny. I did not realize that I actually have 24 books. So let's just get into all of those books and see if I ever read them in 2024. So first up in the unhaul process, well, not really the unhaul process, but if I'm going to unhaul them, these are all books by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. We have My Contrary Mary, we have My Lady Jane, and then My Plain Jane. So I do have all three of these books, and I don't know if I'm going to like them. Whenever I got them, I thought that I would, but I haven't gravitated towards them. So we're going to see if I read them in 2024 or if I'm just going to unhaul them at the end of the year. The next one on that list is actually a pretty recent book that I got in a book box, and I already sold one of them whenever I got it, I think, in a Fairy Loot box. But then this came in I think, bookish box. So I was like, you know what? I just need to try it. I haven't gravitated towards it, obviously. But whenever I heard someone describe it as like White Walkers-esque type book, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and give it a try. And that is Bone Smith by Nikki Powell-Preto. This is, I think, a YA book. And the only thing I know is I think she is something like a grave digger or something, and she has to go to like the land of the dead. I think that's what it's about. Anyway, I was gonna sell it and just get rid of it, but I was like, let's just see if I gravitate towards it this year, and if not, I'll just go ahead and get rid of it at the end of the year. The next one is a sci-fi book that I saw a couple booktubers talking about that they would like it, and I picked it up, and then I haven't thought about it since. So again, it made it to the list, and that is The Three-Body Problem by Ken Liu. I don't know if I'll like this. It's coming to Netflix, and I need to see if it's already on Netflix or not, but it was the winner of the Hugo Award, and I think this is about, I don't even know what it's about. It's a science fiction epic of the most profound kind. We're just going to see what it's about if I end up getting to it. Like I said, I bought it and then I haven't thought about it since. Another book that I picked out from Book of the Month, and I haven't thought about it again, and that's going to be a theme throughout here. And that is The Half Moon by Mary Beth Keane. The only thing I know about this book is I think it's literary fiction. And I also think that it is about the Half Moon bar, I think, or it's an inn. And one of the people is a bartender, and so it revolves around their life and the people in the town's lives. I don't know if I'd even pick this up, but we'll see. The next one is a bind up. It's like the complete series, and I got it at my secondhand bookstore locally for $4. And that is The Fairy Games by Michelle Maddow. And I know nothing about this. It just said The Fairy Games in complete series, and it was $4. So we'll see. And then the next one I got was from one of my secondhand book groups on Facebook, and that is Starling by Isabel Strychax. I don't know how to say that name. Anyway, the cover is stunning, you guys. Like, it's beautiful. I feel like it deals with like maybe aliens or like a ghost type figure, because the way that he is, he's like made of stars. So that's kind of intriguing, but we'll just see. And the next one is a series starter, so I guess if I like it, I'm doomed, I guess. But that is Bound by Honor by Rose Sarton, and it's book 1. I know nothing about this. I don't even remember getting it. Yeah, it says for Taylor. Hope you enjoy. Amber and Rylas. I don't know. I don't know who Taylor is, so I guess I got it at a secondhand bookstore. The next one that I want to get off of my shelf is, I think, Carrie from Carrie Reads, or Carrie Can Read. She did a whole video on this series, and of course I watched it, but I want to experience it for myself, and that's Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. I only own book 1, which is good, because if I don't like it, then I don't have to continue on. But it's kind of like a fallen angel book where they fall in love with, I think, a human girl. Anyway, this was like in the Fallen Angel era, which I loved the books, the Fallen series by Lauren Kate, so maybe I will end up liking this. This book has been on an unhaul video multiple times, so I don't even know why I still have it. But it is The Hollow by Jessica Verde. And I want to say, yeah, it's just one book, I think. And it's a teen book. Oh my gosh, the writing is so big. Okay. Let's just give it a shot, because it's been on so many unhaul videos that I end up keeping it for I don't know what reason. And so we just need to rip the Band-Aid off and see what it's about. The next 3 books is a series, and I think it's a completed series, and I did end up getting it from a library sale that they were having one time, and I think I got the whole set for $1. But we're just going to see how it goes, and I don't even know what order these go in, so forgive me. But you have Storm Song, Witchmark, and Soul Star, all by C.L. Polk, and I think that it is a series, and of course it has a library stamp on there, and that's not even the library that I got it at, so it has been around. But I don't know what these are about. I got them for $1. They looked really cool, so they've been sitting on my shelf for like almost 2 years. And the next one I wanted to read, and then I've heard a lot of people talk about how not so good the series is, so I think it's time to read it or unhaul it. Don't you think? And that is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I've heard that Serpent and Dove is good, and then I heard that Blood and Honey, the second book, is not good. And then I really haven't heard a whole lot about Gods and Monsters, I think is the 3rd and final book in this series. And it's about a witch and a witch hunter and their romance and their story. So I want to read it, but if I like book 1, should I continue to the second book that people don't like? I just don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. So we'll just see how Serpent and Dove goes if I end up getting to it. And then I have another trilogy on here, which I think is a trilogy. And again, I don't know what order these go in, but they have been on my shelves for a long time. And I think I got them at a secondhand bookstore, if I'm correct. And that is Wither, Fever, and Sever, and they're all by Lauren DeStefano. I don't know how to say the name. Anyway, I've had this series on my shelf for a while. I think it's time to read it or unhaul it and make some room for books that I'm actually excited to get to. We have another book of the month book that I got because I thought that I would like it, and then I've never gravitated towards it, and that's The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. And this is kind of a unique story. It's a romance, but it deals with like swinging. I was confused. I was like, okay, maybe we should just see what this is about. And again, I haven't gravitated towards it, so we'll see if I get to it this year. I got it in June of 2022. So it's been on my shelf for quite a while. Another book of the month book, but this one came from April of 2019. That is almost 5 years ago. So So that is Sky Without Stars by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell. And I think this is book 1 in the System Divine series. I do not need to start another series, but again, I need to make room. So if I don't end up getting to this, I think almost 5 years on my shelf. It will be 5 years by the time I unhaul this. I think it's time to either read it or get rid of it. The next one, I think I won in a giveaway where they were giving away a lot of like fantasy romance books. And it is signed, so that's cool. And I have seen recently that a book company did a special edition of this book. But I've never gravitated towards it. And that is To Carve a Fey Heart by Tessania Odette. This is book 1 in the Fair Isle trilogy. Like I said, I won this in a giveaway. I don't even know how long ago it was, but it is signed, and I need to read it, or I just need to give it to someone that would really want the book. So we're going to see if I get to it, but I think it deals with Fae. Yeah. Human girls are sent to the Feylands as brides for the fearsome Fae King and his devilish younger brother. Well, I mean, it sounds good, but am I actually going to get to it? The next two are Book of the Month books, but they are a duology. I don't know if there's going to be a third book in this series or if it's just staying as a duology, but I've had one of them since November of 2019 and then the other one since January of 2023. And that is Ninth House and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know if I'm going to like them. I know that they are dark academia. I don't even know if I'm going to end up wanting to continue to read these because I think they deal with like secret societies and has like a horror aspect to it, and they're kind of gruesome and things like that. So we'll see if I gravitate towards it. But if I haven't gravitated towards it since November of 2019, I don't know if I'm going to get to them this year or not, but we'll see. And then the final book that is on my list here, and it will clear up a whole shelf because I have so many books that are in this series, and I don't know why I'm getting them whenever I haven't even read book 1. So we're going to read book 1. We're going to see if we want to keep it, but that is Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. This is book 1 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Why am I collecting these little trade paperbacks, or mass market paperbacks is what they are? Why am I collecting them, and why do I have a whole shelf dedicated to the Black Dagger Brotherhood series whenever I haven't even read book 1? That is a problem, and that is the reason why we are making some choices in 2024 that are going to continue throughout the year. That is going to clear my shelves probably quite a bit. So let's see if I even gravitate towards this book. I've heard nothing but good things about this series, so it's not like it's a talked down upon series, but I don't know why I'm collecting them whenever I'm not even reading them. So that ended up being 24 books in 2024 that either I need to read and like or unhaul them, or I'm just unhauling them at the end of the year if I don't get to them. I am going to dedicate an entire shelf to them so I can see them front and center and be reminded about them every time I look at my bookshelves, and we'll just see if I gravitate towards any of those. And if I don't, I'm just going to unhaul them at the end of the year and any other books that are in the series, because if I don't read the first book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood, that's a whole shelf that I'm going to be getting rid of. And also, if I don't like any of the books, that's a lot of books that are off of my physical TBR. So definitely leave me some comments below. Are there any books in this pile that I do need to prioritize that you think that I'll end up liking? I would definitely like to know. So I will see you all next time. Remember, my vlogs are going to be coming back, which will be January 9th, which is like the second Tuesday of January. So it might be, when this goes up, it might be the next video that comes out. So if you like my vlogs, stick around so you can start seeing those every week on Tuesday. But I hope everyone has a great day and enjoy your new year to 2024 and all of the new releases that are going to be coming out. Bye!